Based on the information you provided, here is an explanation of the two coaster techniques. This coaster uses the basic plane weave technique, which is the most fundamental form of weaving. Technique: plane weave, over, under, over, under. This means the weft yarn, the yarn you weave, goes over one warp yarn, the stationary yarns on the loom, and then under the next, alternating for the entire row. The next row reverses the pattern. Under, over, under, over. Look, classic with bold horizontal stripes. The stripes are created by simply changing the color of the weft yarn after weaving a certain number of rows, e.g. 5 rows of blue, then 5 rows of white, then 5 rows of blue again. Since the weft travels horizontally, the color blocks will be horizontal stripes. This coaster uses more advanced techniques to incorporate different colors within the same row, resulting in vertical color changes. Technique: interlocking or dovetail tapestry technique. These techniques are used to join different colors of weft yarn mid-row, so that you can weave one section in blue and the adjacent section in white, all in the same row. Interlocking: the two colors loop around each other at the point where they meet. Dovetail: both colors wrap around the same warp thread where they meet, creating a slight toothed or dovetail effect. These descriptions detail 3 different techniques for creating woven coasters, each resulting in a distinct look. 1. Round circular coaster. Technique: the weaving is performed on a circular loom, often homemade like a piece of cardboard with notches cut around the edge. The threads radiate outwards from the center point. Look, the resulting coaster has an organic and mandala-like appearance due to the circular and radiating pattern. 2. Tassel or fringe edge coaster. Technique: a basic simple plain weave is used, but the crucial step is to leave long loops or warp threads extending beyond the main woven area. These long ends are then cut and knotted to form a decorative border. Look, this style is often described as boho or cozy, as the fringe or tassel adds a fun, soft texture and movement to the edges. 3. Textured coaster, mixed materials. Technique: this is a plain weave where the weaver intentionally alternates between different types of weft materials. This can include switching between thick, chunky yarns, like roving or thick wool, and thin, smooth yarns. Weaving in strips of fabric or ribbon is another variation. Look, the combination of varied materials creates a coaster that is richly textured and tactile, meaning it has a complex, interesting feel to the touch. These are 2 different techniques for weaving coasters, each resulting in a unique look. 1. Lazy weaving coaster. This technique is focused on efficiency and a clean finish. Core idea: instead of weaving and finishing one coaster at a time, you weave a continuous strip of fabric that contains the designs for several coasters. Technique: steps: weave a single, very long rectangle of fabric. Within this long rectangle, you incorporate the specific design and size for multiple individual coasters, e.g., weave coaster design 1, leave a small space, weave coaster design 2, leave a space, etc. Once the entire piece is woven, the ends of the warp threads for each individual coaster section are secured before cutting. This is typically done with a sewing machine, stitching across the warp line, or a very strong hand stitch. The fabric is then cut between the secured warp lines to separate the individual coasters. Look, result: clean edges. The machine or hand stitching holds the weft threads in place, eliminating the need for the traditional fringe, knots, or hem stitching at the start taut end of the weave. Modern aesthetic. This provides a crisp, finished, and professional edge that is well suited for a contemporary design. 2. Warp-faced coaster. This technique is focused on highlighting the warp yarn, core idea, manipulating the yarn thickness and weaving tension so that the vertical threads, the warp, cover almost all of the horizontal threads, the weft. Technique steps. Select a much thicker yarn for the warp, the threads that are under tension, and run vertically. Select a thinner yarn for the weft, the threads you pass back and forth horizontally. Weave the weft yarn. Beat the weft down very tightly. This means using a beater or comb to push each new row of weft against the previous one with significant force. Look/result. Warp dominance. The thickness of the warp combined with the tight beating causes the warp threads to lie so close together that they entirely cover the weft threads. The color and texture you see on the surface is almost exclusively the warp. Subtle, ribbed appearance. This often creates a highly textured, vertical ribbed effect because you are primarily seeing the parallel warp threads and puts the focus entirely on the chosen warp color and fiber.